Good day. This presentation is titled Customer Satisfaction and Repurchase Tenders in E-commerce. An April study based on Amazon customer review. The study investigated how review sentiment and user activity related to customer satisfaction and whether the signals can help identify users with higher repurchase tenders using an HR approach. Okay, next. The presentation follows 5 parts: introduction, literature review, methodology, data analysis, and findings, and finally, conclusion and discussion. I will move quickly through the background sessions and focus mainly on the two input models and their results. In e-commerce, customer decisions are increasingly shaped by user-generated reviews rather than product description alone. Star rating provides a convenient summary of satisfaction, but they may miss emotional information embedded in review text. Therefore, this study used large-scale Amazon review data to link three elements: sentiment, customer satisfaction, memory by rating, and the repurchase tenders, memory by a proxy variable. There are 4 issues motivating this research. First, star rating are a close and sometimes noisy memory of satisfaction. Second, review text contains rich sentiment, but is often underutilized in satisfaction analysis. Third, review data can show sentiment polarization and strong class imbalance when focusing on high-intent users. As a result, it becomes difficult to memory satisfaction accurately and to identify users who may have higher repurchase tenders. The study has 3 objectives. First, to examine the relationships between review sentiment and customer satisfactions. Second, to test whether user review activity influences satisfaction. Third, to explore how satisfaction and sentiment related to repurchase tenders using HR as a proxy variable. This study contributes in 3 ways. It proposes an integrated framework connecting sentiment rating-based satisfaction and repurchase tenders using an HR approach methodological. It uses large-scale real-world review data rather than relying only on theories. Practically, it suggests platforms should monitor negative sentiment, improve service recovery, and segment high internet customers more effectively. The research widely recognizes satisfaction as a key driver of researchers' intention in e-commerce. Online reviews strongly influence consumer decisions, but they often express emotion, polarization, and user concentration. Sentiment analysis help extract emotion signals beyond star rating, especially negative cues. However, a clear gap remains. Relative field studies jointly examine sentiment, satisfaction, and user activity, and then assess a repurchase proxy under unbalanced conditions. This motivates the integrated design in this study. The methodology follows 3 steps. First, data pre-processing is conducted in Python, cleaning, review, handling misvalues, and concentrating key variables such as rating, sentiment, score, or label, and review activity. Second, 2 models are estimated: descriptive analysis and visualizations. and OLS regulations for certification and logistic regulation. For the repurchase process, third, the HR model is evaluated using metrics such as confusion metric and ROX AUC to related classification performance. The dataset is an Amazon product review dataset with over 2,000 reviews, and each observation is an individual review. Certification is memory by rating number on a 1 to 5 scale. Statement is represented by statement 3, called as 1 for negative, 0 for neutral, and 1 for positive. User activity is captured by review count. Repurchase standards is procated by HR, where HR equal 1 if the rating is at least 4, and 0 otherwise. Python is used for pre-processing and statement, while space is used for regression reporting. Okay, we can see this slide summary the two April models and how they connect. Model 1 is an OLS regression for certification. The dependent variable is rating number, ranging for 1 to 5 stars. The key predicts are statements 3 and real codes, with controls include to reduce omitted variable concerns. The purpose of model 1 is to calculate whether statement extract from text provides explanatory powers for satisfaction. Beyond simple activities memories, Model 2 is a logistic regression for repurchase standards using a proxy. The dependent variable is HR, defined as 1 when rating number is at least 4, and 0 otherwise. Predicts include statements 3 and certifications related information such as rating plus controls. The goal is not only to check whether statements and certification related to HR, but also to assess how well the model can describe HR case and unbalanced outcome. Translation sentence with this setup, the next two slides report Model 1 and Model 2 results. This slide reports the OLS results for certification. The main finding is that statement 3 has very strong positive, associated with rating with a standard convention around beta and highly significant p-value. This indicates that moving from negative to neutral or neutral to positive statement in the review text corresponded to a higher satisfaction rating. In contrast, review counts contribute most no practical effect. Either standards coefficient is approximately even if certification appear in a large sample. The fact set suggests that review activity explains little variation in certification compared with statement. Okay, so Model 2 slide summarizes the performance of the HR Pros model using classification metrics where HR is treated as a positive class. The model achieved an overall accuracy of 0.73, which may intentionally look acceptable. However, the positive class metrics are weak. Precision is 0.06 and FE scores is 0.10, while risk score is 0.42. In practical terms, this index limited discrimination for identifying HR approximately 1 cases. The model does not reliable separate high inter user from the rest of the sample. A key interpretation is that performance is constrained by class imbalance. When HR approximately 1 is relatively real, accuracy can remain moderate even if the model struggles to correctly identify the positive class. Three conclusions follow from the findings. First, review statement is a dominant explanatory factor for stratification in the OLS model. Second, review activity measures by review count has minimal practical contribution related to statement. Third, the HR Pro's model show limited the discrimination for HR approximates 1 under class imbalance, which countries as practical usefulness. Building on their conclusions, there are two main implications. First, platforms should use statement signals to complement star rating in stratification monitor, because statements carries substantial information that rating alone may not capture. Second, platforms should strengthen negative review detection and service recovery to products protection repeat purchase behavior. In other words, negative statements should be treated as an early warning signal for intervention. There are two limitations. First, HRS approves for repurchase tendencies rather than actual repurchase behavior. Second, the analysis is based on a single platform review dataset, so generalization may be limited. Future work can improve in two directions. One direction is to validate finding using behavior repurchase data such as reorder or winter recorders if available. Another is to improve modeling under imbalance using reweighting or resampling approaches and by enriching text features for better discrimination. Okay, finally, I would like to express my sincerely gratitude to Dr. Annie Jan Ali for valuable guidance and feedback. I also thank my instructor and classmates for their support during this project. Thank you, and I welcome any question.